Hi, happy Webtoon Wednesday. Today I'm going to be talking about Head Over Heels by South Star and Prishe, I think is how you say the author's names. This is a psychological romance, drama, thriller, school life. It is complete. And what a wild ride. It was definitely not what I was expecting. I kind of went into it thinking that it was going to end differently, and it ended up being a completely different way, which was a really nice. I like having those unexpected endings. It's very refreshing, and it keeps you on like the edge of your seat and like the tip of your toes like the whole way through. I would say probably about 90% of it is unexpected, which is kind of rare, but it was super good. Now, the artwork, I will say, it's not like over the top or like super amazing, but the way the artwork is kind of like a dark grungy. So it's like a really cool raw kind of look. I don't know how else to phrase it. The artwork did kind of remind me of, other webtoons I've read, but like I can't pinpoint the webtoon, but like in my head, like the characteristics are somewhat similar, but the artist does like a really good job making like the eyes seem like really crazy, or like the faces, like when the main female character makes like this deranged look on her face, it looks really good. This is our main female character, Ha Yan, and she is a masochist. So for those who don't know, basically what that means is like she likes being hurt, and she gets sexual arousal out of being in pain. That's kind of her way of receiving love. This is Woo Hyun, which I'm probably not saying right. He is the main male character. Main female character is getting bullied by our main male character. There are other side characters that come in and try to help Hyan, not knowing that she wants to be bullied and punished and hit by Wuhan. And it's very understandable because being in high school, I don't think a lot of kids necessarily understand or really experiment with those kind of like kinks and quirks. So for her to be like a masochist and know that she's a masochist and wants Wuhan, or whatever his name is, to do that to her is really unusual for that age. So it's completely understandable that there's, a teacher getting involved, another girl getting involved, or like, his best friend to get involved and be like, bro, you're going too far. Or for, the other girl to sit there and be like, this is unusual. Like, why are you like that? And because there are other people on the outside who don't understand that kind of relationship, understandably, and who are trying to separate them, it just kind of makes our main female character drive even farther and harder to be with the male character and do some crazy ass shit along the way to make sure that she stays with him, which means that she is blackmailing people. She ties people up and beats the shit out of them, like pretends to pour gasoline on one dude and like says she's gonna light him on fire. She stabs someone, she bites one guy like repeatedly, drawing blood. There's murder, attempted suicide, there is suicide, and then there is molestation of a child. That's also in here. You don't see any sex scenes, but it is very heavily led on to believe that this girl gets molested by an older male. So you start off just with them in high school, her crazy obsession with him bullying her, and them both kind of like liking their positions, which is whatever, fine. But then you have another character from both of their past that comes into the scene and starts blackmailing both of them, which causes a lot of issues and turmoil in their relationships. And it's just, it's a wild ride. Okay, like that's like all I can say. That's all I can say. Even on a deeper note, I think it is good or interesting that the authors went even further into like character depth and showing that like everybody has a secret. So what's our main female character secret? What is our male lead's best friend's secret? Does our male lead have a secret? You know, this kid who's blackmailing everyone, what's his secret? And it's good. Another aspect of the webtoon is you don't know who's playing who. So you have our female lead, and is she playing the male lead? Is she leading him into doing exactly what she wants him to do? Or is the male lead using her as a toy and leading her to do exactly what he wants to do? Does he know all of her reactions, and does he know her so well that he knows what she's going to do next, so he's playing with her? Or does she play with him? So it's kind of, you go through like almost like that cat and mouse game where you don't know who's actually in control of the situation until the very end. Even though the female lead is like very submissive throughout the whole webtoon, there was actually a couple points, to be clear. There was a couple times where I thought she was going to break away from the main male character and kind of like stand up for herself or go on her own, listen to her friend, listen to the teacher, you know, listen to the guy blackmailing her or them. I thought she was going to hit that point eventually a couple times where she was going to stand up to Wuhan and leave him or tell him off or do something. And it's kind of like that roller coaster round. Like you kind of wait for it to happen, and then she goes back in and becomes not necessarily shy, but very what's the word? Oh, submissive. That took me way too long. So you think she's going to break out of that shell and not be shy anymore, but then something happens, he says, does something, whatever, and she becomes very submissive again. Probably should add that there's a lot of physical violence in here, like a lot of domestic abuse, even though I guess it's not necessarily domestic abuse because she wants it to happen, but there are other instances where she is getting physically abused, and it's not with someone that she wants to do that stuff with, if that makes sense. I would recommend this webtoon. I thought it was pretty good. I really liked all the twists and turns and the unexpected stuff. I liked the side characters, even the ones that weren't really big or had like a big role to play. Some of them were just there to kind of add like somewhat of a comic relief, which was nice considering how dark this webtoon was psychologically. I really appreciate you guys watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye everyone.